Here are 3 main things that can destroy your violin forever. So make sure to watch this video all the way to the end. So in case you've been doing any one of this, you need to stop it right away. If not, you could destroy your violin forever. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Toks Violin Academy for beginners and intermediate violinists. My name is Samuel and I give you lessons, tips, tricks to take your violin playing to that next level. So if you're dealing with things like scratchiness, intonation, vibrato, all that stuff, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification, because content like that coming for you every week. So let's get into it. The first one is leaving your instrument in bad conditions. What do I mean by that? Bad conditions, for example, a very common one in the tropics. For example, if you live in Caribbean, if you live in hot temperatures. I've seen a lot of this one with my student, leaving the instrument in the vehicle while the sun is blazing hot, right? So that's going to heat up the vehicle and it's going to heat up your instrument as well. And the violin, if you realize, some parts of the violin are glued. For example, the fingerboard is glued onto that neck right there. So if that heat is too much and it starts melting what was used to hold the parts of the violin together, you don't see any nails in the violin, right? Because very strong glues are what's holding the instrument together. So if you leave the instrument too much in the sun, over time, yes, some parts could fall off. I've literally seen the fingerboard come off of somebody's instrument because the instrument was in the vehicle while the sun was scorching, right? So try not to do that. I know that if you want to get to practice, if you want to get to class, sometimes just put the instrument in the vehicle, just drive to work, and then after work you just pick it from the vehicle and then you just go to class. No, take it from the vehicle, right? Put it somewhere, walk somewhere a little cooler, right? Because that's going to be very important. If your violin is destroyed, there's no how you could learn the violin, there's no how you could move forward. So make sure not to make that mistake. Do not put your violin in bad conditions. Another example of this bad condition would be water, the sea, frozen temperatures. So always make sure that your violin is in the same temperature as you. So if you're going to find somewhere very cold, the violin is going to find that place very cold too. If you're going to find somewhere very hot, just think about it that way. So your instrument is always safe and protected. Let's go on to the next point. If you've not joined the family yet, this is the best time for you to do that. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe, turn on the notification, because content like this, tips, lessons, tutorials, how to improve your playing, they're coming for you every week and you do not want to miss any bit of it. Let's get back into the video. This second point is a beginners and intermediates doom, right? Putting too much rosin on the violin and then after using it, not cleaning up the violin. Okay, so let's start with too much rosin, right? Too much rosin on the hair of the violin could make your instrument, on the hair of the bow rather, could make your instrument dusty, apart from the fact that it's going to give you not the best of sound. It's going to give you scratchy, heavy sounds, which you really do not want. So too much rosin is not good at all. The first one is you're not going to sound good. Right, if you have too much rosin, you're not going to get that smooth, good, beautiful sound out of it. So try as much as possible to avoid that. And then after playing, even if you put too much rosin on violin or you put just sufficient, after playing, make sure to have a cloth in your violin, right? So you wipe off the rosin, you clean the string, because if you do not do that, over time the rosin rests on the body of the violin and it becomes sticky and it forms this layer over the instrument, which when you play is not going to let the violin resonate the way it's supposed to resonate to bring out that beautiful sound. So after playing, every time make sure you just wipe those few rosins. Yes, sometimes it could be very small, but over time this accumulates and at that point it's going to start dampening the sound of your violin and you do not want it to get to that stage. So that's second one. First, avoid too much rosin, and secondly, make sure to wipe it down once you're done playing. Let's get into the third point for today. The third point has to do with your bow, how much you tighten your bow. So this is what we want to look out for. You do not want your bow to be too tight that you're going to see the bow start forming a real bow over the hair. You do not want that to happen at all. You don't want to get any close to this, because over time that's going to spoil your bow. It's going to spoil the stick and it's going to make the hair weak as well. So you want to tighten your bow just to the point that it's not, when you play, the hair is not touching the stick. Right, so if you've gotten to that point, that's it. That's going to do the work for you. You do not want to get past that. So tighten it to the point that the hair is not touching the stick when you play. Good, right? And how to know that it's too much is when you have that big space in between the stick and the hair, which we want to avoid as much as possible, because that's going to bring put too much tension in the stick. Also, after playing, make sure you loosen your bow before you rest in the case. It's a very common problem, because if you leave that tension in it, eventually you're going to spoil your bow as well. So that's it for today's lesson. Make sure if this video helped you, you've clicked that like button, you've subscribed to join the family so you do not miss when we post, and you've turned on that post notification so you'll be notified anytime the video goes live. And I'll see you again here next week.